So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, shot. Warrior 70. Viking 18. Hut, hut.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Niners will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
How about the vision on the run here? This one's intended to just be a straight dive up the middle. But once he gets through traffic, he sees that the open space is to the outside. So he's just going to angle himself out wide and win the race to the pylon.
New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
Ready. Blaster, 6. Hut, hut.
On play action, here's Ritter. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Purdy now to throw. Now wasting time going right back to DK Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Let's go now.
They go play action here. Purdy to the right side and complete to Metcalf. It's so close. He gets it to the one. Out of bounds right there. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Cowboy 80. Set go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. York now for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And CD, sometimes you don't need those complicated game plans or the added wrinkles. Last time out, you think about it, couldn't have been any simpler. One play, one pass, touchdown.
I know those coaches put a lot of work into this game plan, but I don't think they mind possessions like that at all. They just save those calls for this possession instead.
You look at this Niner defense. They've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at fifth best in the league.
And not just speed, not just their physical skills. You know what pulls it all together for this secondary? Their smarts and communication. They play really well as a unit.
Yellow. Drill green. Ready?
Ritter will set up to throw it. Rolling to his right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere.
17. Let's go. Black Ultra. Go red. Black shot.
Here's Ritter. Flushed out right. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
He finds his man, complete. That's Leonard. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
19 Lion. Dragon 60. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Ready?
Throwing here, Purdy. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the 49ers go up by 2 touchdowns. York on now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, set. Set.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You look at this Niner defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Hey, 3. 6. Mega. Smash. Red. Green Jack. Hut.
Ritter back to throw. There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Ready.
They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a first down again.
A nice job here getting the tight end involved. He's going to line up on the inside, and then off of play action, he's going to test his secondary by running a corner route. His outside receiver takes all the attention deep, and then he'll just find the open space, and he pulls the ball in.
On the double. Check pink. Ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
On the ready. Check White. Set.
They'll run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
White. Set. Set.
Ritter now. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Set up. Mustang 19. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Go.
Here's Purdy. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Buffalo 18.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Back to throw, Purdy. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
3rd and 3.
Let's go. Check go.
Now Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Ready.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Street. Ready.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. I think that's a good example of why they've been successful this year. They're fearless on any down.
And it's interesting that this year I asked an NFL head coach about being fearless and going for it on fourth down, and he said, people have to understand, there's fearless and there's reckless. I try not to be reckless when I make a decision to go for it on fourth down. In this case, fearless wins.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Let's go now. 79 Broncos.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
On the jump.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Set. Go.
Purdy looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's unable to get away. They stop him at the line on 4th and 2. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing.
Ready.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Ready. 43 rail. Ready.
Paul want to give up the middle. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Ready.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
Let's go now. Rail. Yellow. Yellow. Zoom. Needle blue. Ready.
Out of the gun, here's Ritter. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man, complete. And some room to work. Now he's loose again. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half. The same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Moore, the man in motion.
19 Lions.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. DK Metcalf, 58 yards. And the Niners are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by York is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
On a counter, it's Hall. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Jet.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Blaster, 6. 10.
Ritter off the play fake. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Claws red. Yellow. Hut.
Ritter from the gun. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Purdy. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Ready.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They're looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, set. Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Here we go.
2nd and 10.
Drill green. Hut.
Ritter to throw it. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
And this time, not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Ritter. It's a short one here, complete to the tight
On the ball.
end.
On the ball.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 7.
6. Mega. Hut, hut.
Going play action. Ritter rolling to his left. And this one too low.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Ready?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Smash. Red. Green Jack. Ready.
Ritter with it after the play fake. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's the Jets punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 44 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Reload, reload. Hut, hut.
They'll run on first down. Weston, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Let's go. Buffalo 18. Warrior 70. Cup 19. Cup, go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Purdy. That pass complete to Moore. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. DJ Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to extend their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went into the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. 102 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Switch, yellow. Ready, go.
On first down, right back to Hall. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. 2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. Back to throw, Ritter. This pass out wide to Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
On play action, here's Ritter. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
60 Bobcat! 60 Bobcat! Here we go, set!
Now Purdy, he's going to change the look here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Ready, set!
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
19 tight! 19 tight! Get up!
Purdy now to throw. Well, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over here up near the 40. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. 71 yards. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. A brief pause in the action here as they tend to an injury. That's George Kittle shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter.
7 Pirates! 7 Pirates! Set! Ready, ready?
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Ready, ready.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
19 Lions. Check smash.
Moore, the man in motion.
Dragon 60. Hut, hut.
Purdy from the gun. And this is caught. He hits Moore. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big third down play there for the Niners. 41 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Go.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 13 yards out. And the Look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a two-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
Okay, right.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
10 cycles. Hut, hut.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Ready?
Ritter will set up to throw it. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
43 rail. Rail. Yellow. Ready. Jack, hut.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter. Throwing left side. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Edo blue. Red, cycle. Set.
Here's Ritter. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Watch out now. 50 Fury. Hut, hut.
Throwing on second and long. Ritter. It's a short one here, complete to his tight. And he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Following the fumble recovery, Purdy. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Let's go now. Ready.
Ritter back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Off the play fake, it's Ritter. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Hurry!
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Drill, 52. Claws red. Fuse, yellow. Zoom, black. Set, go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So first and 10 now from the 30.
Come on, set. 18, Rattler, Panther 11, Buffalo 18. Get up.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Go! Warrior 70. Check go.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Check, Bobcat, check, Bob. Let's go. Ready.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Ready.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Ritter now. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking, A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
It's caught at the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. 59 yards. And the Jets have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the three-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but three-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
Okay, ready?
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends.